Hello, friends. This is the Popcorn Dialogues podcast. It's looking like a pretty regular day here in Melbourne, Australia. 16 degrees Celsius, high chance of rain, medium chance of allergies, and extremely low chance of going to the beach. But general banality aside, it's an exciting day for us. Your friend, entertainer, and podcast co-host Rosh. Nice to meet you, aka Rockin' Rosh. And why is it a big day, you ask? Well, today we're bringing you our episode on Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. Welcome to our brand new episode. I'm the other co-host. I don't have a rockin' anything to it, but I'm Nam. This is Nam. I am Rockin' Rosh.
Yeah, Rockin'. That's a
as
cool
name. As soon as she said Rockin' Robin, I was like, oh, I know what to do.
I need to know. Yep, that's a good intro. I liked that one.
Yeah, well.
So welcome to Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe we're here? Finally?
Yes. Well,
3 years.
It
and we're
feels
finally
very
here.
surreal. Like,
it
honestly,
does a
it
bit,
really
yeah.
does feel surreal.
Like the day of when we were it felt surreal because like our timing was that it would be midday when it landed on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I was not going to watch it obviously until you got home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it feels so weird because everyone is watching it. And
well, Netflix crashed.
And Netflix crashed. So they had to like extend their bandwidth. But like everyone was watching it. And so I had logged off absolutely everything because I was like, I cannot have spoilers. Just absolutely not. And yeah, it just felt really weird. I was like, is it even here? Like, I don't know because, you know, I'm not watching it. So, you know, but it was there.
It was there.
We watched it.
We've watched it twice now.
Yeah, we laughed, we screamed, we cried, we screamed some more.
You can see our reaction video on Instagram and
TikTok.
So we're there. Well, this is a very exciting day, as we just mentioned.
Yeah,
it has finally come after a good few years wait. What the wait, do you think?
I think so. I think Volume 1's been pretty good so far.
I think Volume 1's been pretty good. Like, obviously, there's not
some issues,
perfect.
of course.
There are some issues which we are going to hash out now. Yeah. But overall, I think it's been a pretty decent Volume 1. Yeah. My biggest fear with Volume 1 was that we're going to end up with the cliffhanger that's going to be so unbearable to wait. Yeah. And yes, it is a bit of like, oh my gosh,
what now? But it's not the kind of like, oh,
yeah,
no,
like it's
what? Yeah.
It's not like, oh my gosh, this is going to be painful to wait, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right.
It's painful in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. It's like anticipatory, you know, which is nice. All right. Let's jump straight in. Let's jump straight in.
The spoiler warning starts now.
Yep. If you have not watched it, this is your official warning.
Yes.
Time to leave now. If you want to wait and come back, we are more than happy to lose your one listen. We're happy to sacrifice that.
For now.
You better come back.
Come back. Just, casual threats.
Well, just a quick mention, actually. We do have... we've been very slow to start. And because we had a podcast before this, which actually quickly went pretty, like a lot of people were listening to it from a lot of different parts of the world.
Lots of places,
This was a little bit slower than that. And I think it's because that other one was in the pandemic. Yeah. And I just wanted to, before we get into this, mention that we have people obviously listening to us from Australia. We have people from the US, specifically North Dakota. So
I don't know anybody in North Dakota.
I don't know. But US,
we care about the Dakotas, unlike Monica. And that's a little Friends reference for everybody.
So we've got obviously Australia, we've got US, we've got UK, we have France, and we have Vietnam. So very interesting little mix there. Yes. So thank you to whoever's listening. Thank you to
our listeners.
We are very, very happy that you're listening.
Yes.
And if you do like it, please do give us a bit of a rating and like us and subscribe to us and follow us on everything.
And all that jazz.
Yes. All right, let's jump into it.
Spoiler warning starts now.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Okay.
So straight off the back, we have 18 months into
time jump.
After Hawkins basically was split apart by Vecna with the 4 deaths being Chrissy, Fred, who's the third one? what was the
Patrick
and then Max, of
Max
course.
herself, yeah.
So we have the 4 deaths, and they're in a very interesting place.
Yeah.
Not in a good place.
Not in a good place.
I would say.
Most of them, I think. Yeah.
So straight off, we've got the Byers living with
the Wheelers.
The Wheelers, which is an interesting experience.
Very interesting experience.
And we've got them. We've got Mike and Robin. Robin and Steve working together at the Squawk at the radio station. Rockin' Robin, she's got her show.
Yeah.
Mike's her little assistant. Oh, no. Why do I keep calling him Mike?
How dare you?
Steve. Gosh.
Steve
is her little assistant boy. We have... Who else do we have? Dustin is in a pretty dark place right now.
Yeah.
He is grieving Eddie, and we'll talk a bit more about that. Him and Steve are in a bit of a strained relationship. And we have Nancy and Jonathan, who are together, but
also in a bit of a strained relationship.
They're not the best.
Yeah.
So they're all sort of like, but and I guess Elle and Hop are also sort of separated from everybody else because they're hiding.
They're technically dead.
Yeah, so they're not supposed to be alive and well, and thriving.
Yeah,
in Hawkins, to say the least, because they are wanted. Yeah, especially Elle. So pretty split and pretty depressed. Yeah, really.
We kind of just start off so every year we kind of get the reset. The first episode is very much everyone back to school.
Yeah,
and,
very normal.
Very here's a pep rally and here's a basketball game and doing all this stuff and or it's Halloween or whatever. But this is the first time. Yes, we see them going to school and everything, but this is the first time where it kind of just starts us off we're in the thick of it already.
Yeah, and I think that opening with the opening very interestingly is with Will when he disappears.
Yeah,
so we're back to season 1. Yeah, essentially, and we see Will's perspective of when he is first taken. Yeah, and this was released a while ago,
a couple of weeks before.
They released the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we see sort of Will being taken by the Demogorgon to Vecna, and Vecna says we're going to do some beautiful things together. Yeah. And then it kind of starts off from there. And that first instance, and then we get Robin's little monologue. Yeah. This radio intro essentially, which kind of sets the scene for what Hawkins is going through.
She tells us all that the big cracks in the earth have been covered up by a big metal band-aid, basically.
That was
that the kids go sledding on, and
I love that.
The men with guns are not happy.
I loved that one. That was good.
And then there's the big military facility. It's called the Military Access Control Zone, the MAC-Z, or she calls it the Big Mac. In the middle of town, it's the library. Basically. And they've set up control over there.
This is where the four gates basically came and converged. Yeah. This giant hole, essentially.
And it's everybody's kind of in quarantine. They can't leave Hawkins. The only person who comes in and out is Murray. Yeah. To give them
supplies,
unsolicited supplies and
things that they're not allowed.
Things that they're not allowed to have. And so they're all in a point we've never really seen them in before, and it's quite unsettling
because it is last year they lost.
That
was the first time they lost. It wasn't, and even though technically they have lost every single season because they haven't been able to defeat Vecna or whoever this is.
No, but every season they've had a mini victory. Thinking that we've defeated the mind player. Oh, we've defeated.
They've had that false sense of security.
Will gets unpossessed and all this stuff. We find Will in the first season. Yeah. So they've had this false sense of security. Oh, everything's good. Yeah. But it turns out this whole time they've only just lost. Yeah. And the big loss coming at the end of season 4. So none of them are in a good place.
Oh, we didn't talk about Lucas. Lucas and Max.
And Max, she's still in the coma. He's probably visiting her every day. And he's just so sad. And
so episode 1 sort of sets the scene. It starts off with that, and we get to see the boys, especially. They're still friends.
Yeah,
I liked that little opening of Dustin where he comes in, he's by himself. He comes in and immediately starts getting bullied. By Jason's
old
friends.
Yeah,
not ex-friends, his old friends.
Yeah,
and who comes to his defense is Lucas. And Lucas looks big. Like, he looks big. Like, you know, he comes in and he's like, you know, he comes in strong arms his way, and then Mike joins in, and, you know, Will obviously joins in as well. And it's like, this is so nice. Like, it was good to see.
It was good to see them at least being, I mean, so they are having trouble with Dustin, obviously, because he is grieving Eddie's death.
Yeah.
He's acting up. He's very much dressed like Eddie with the Hellfire shirt. The hair is grown out, the hat, everything. Wearing the rings and all that stuff. And he's kind of provoking the bullies at this point. You know, they want Hellfire to be over, and he's like, Hellfire is never going to be over as long as I'm around. And the boys can see he's being very, like, dismissive of everything. Yeah. Like, they're worried about him. He doesn't care that they're worried about him.
Yeah.
So it is frustrating. It's very frustrating. And, like, you know, on the other side of that is Steve. And I guess we'll get into it a little bit in a second, because that was a very pivotal moment that happens in, like, a few episodes' time. But, you know, it's hard to see him going through that. And it's hard to see them, despite, like, them feeling like they're good, there's still that thing of, like, Dustin is not okay.
He's not okay, yeah.
And they just don't know what to
like,
do
they're
about
laughing
it.
And they're joking and they're doing all of that stuff, but there's something not right.
Yeah.
And straight away we see, you know, they're at the school, and we get to see there's a message from Robin through the radio.
Yeah.
Code. Because it's a code, essentially. They play Upside Down by Diana Ross. And through that, she does the whole code thing, and we figure out there's something known as the crawl that they do. And the crawl essentially is Hopper going into the Upside Down and looking
through
for
the
Vecna.
Military access.
And this is where we realize that the military has actually set up a whole base in the Upside Down. Which I think completely blew my mind.
I was like, what?
Wow. Okay. Like, because we see, like, these big supply trucks going in and stuff, and you're like, okay, what's happening? And then you realize that a lot of the soldiers in there and things, like, it's like a full-on base that's in the Upside Down. And so immediately you've got this question, okay, how are they there? Why is Vecna allowing them to be there? Because let's face it, that's what it is. Because the last time we saw people going in there, they're full on getting attacked by the Demobats and, like, all of that craziness. It's the most hostile place, which it still is, to be fair. But it's not, it doesn't seem to be as bad as it was when we saw them last go in. Like with Steve and Nancy and Robin and Eddie.
Last year,
So it's like, okay, something has changed, clearly. So that's, I think, like, that really intriguing little start in episode 1. And I think also we get to see sort of, like, what Elle and Hop, what kind of state of mind they're in,
and what they're working towards
they're working towards, because we get to see Elle is sort of introduced through, like, this really kind of
training,
semi-cheesy
sports training
80s,
montage.
Yes, exactly. 80s inspired sports training montage. Which, oh my gosh, it's so funny, because during the trailer, I was like, what is she wearing? I love it.
It's very much Josh Brolin in The Goonies.
Right? It is such a great outfit. And now it makes sense what she's wearing, because she was in the middle of a montage and she has to go, right? Into the Upside Down. But anyways, there's this big debate between Hop and Elle, and you can see she's pushing herself to do better and, you know, get through, like, obstacle courses and training herself faster. To get better. We get to see some new skills that she's acquired. She's learned to fly. Which is really cool.
Or at least, like, leap really high.
Yeah, like, she's jumping. It's not flying. She's jumping really high and long, I guess. But yeah, like, these are some new things that she can do. And it's really interesting to see that. She's developed her physical strength. I think. And she's just getting stronger and stronger as the day goes. She feels like she seems a bit more confident as well. which I think was really nice.
Yeah.
But that's where that conflict comes in between her and Hop, because when the whole crawl signal goes through, because Hop can only go in when he jumps into the supply trucks.
Yeah.
There is no other way to get in.
Yeah.
So when the crawl is announced, when they find out through their intel, that's when Robin sends a signal down and they go in. So Hop is very reluctant for Elle to go in with him, because he's like, you're not ready, whatever. And very interestingly, we get to see him taking out something from a little shelf not shelf, it's like a little secret hidden compartment. And we don't know what it is until much later.
Yeah.
But that whole bit was really interesting, because Hop seems he seems down, which makes sense.
I mean, seems like, I don't know that he's down, because I feel like he's happy with...
He's happy. Like, he loves Joyce.
Joyce loves...
Him and Joyce are together.
Thank God.
Yeah. And
you never know, but yeah.
He's happy in the sense, but also, it's such a broken life. Like, he can't live out in the open. Yeah. Him and Joyce can't do anything. Yeah. Him and Jane Elle are hidden.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big missing poster.
He can't live openly, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because everybody thinks he's dead.
He's dead.
So, like...
Exactly. So, what do you do with that?
Yeah, what do you do? Yeah.
So, it's a very interesting
And they travel through the tunnels underground. So
they are not... They technically don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So, that bit was very interesting as well to me. By the way... You know that poster in the school hallway where...
Yeah, you can call the number.
You can call the number and you get the Hawkins
Police Department. I was
funny.
like, oh my God, can you imagine if it was Callahan or Powell?
That is hilarious.
I would have died. They have not shown up, by the way.
Surfaced, which means they probably died.
They probably died, and that kind of makes me sad, because there was such good comic relief, but I guess there's no room for that this year.
But yeah, like, as you said, comic relief, it's very, very low.
Yeah.
But we get a very important introduction. We get an important introduction to Holly.
Yeah.
We get a new character, Holly Wheeler. Technically not a new character.
Yeah, we've seen her throughout. We've had the Holly trauma tracker going.
Yep.
And here is Holly Wheeler aged up, played by a new actress, Nell Fisher, who has had a lot of horror experience.
Yes,
so that's why she's
her scream is pretty...
Yeah, she's got a good scream.
Good, yeah.
So that's why she's been brought in. And we see that she is a little by herself in elementary school. She's, got, I think, one friend maybe, but like, she's being a little bit targeted and bullied. And she's seeking reassurance in a imaginary friend by the name of Mr. Whatsit. And yeah, there's a lot of intrigue around Mr. Whatsit, isn't there?
Was there though?
That was a very sarcastic question. Come on. We know Mr. Whatsit is Henry. Everybody knew it was him.
Everyone knows it's him. Everyone guessed that. As soon as they introduced it as like Holly's mysterious, imaginary friend, we're like, Vecna.
It's Vecna.
Yeah.
Come on,
guys.
It's Henry / Vecna / one.
VH1. Yeah. Vecna Henry 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, that was not very intriguing, and okay, it is what it is.
I like how they did the reveal, though.
Yes, I did.
The reveal
like
was
that.
pretty good. So that happens in episode 2. So basically, episode 1 is like, the start of everything, the culmination of like Hop going into the Upside Down. The crawl has happened, and something very strange happens in that the military convoy gets attacked by Demogorgons.
Yes.
And all while this is happening, everybody's back at base in the radio station. And Will is there and he goes down. Yeah. Basically. And his perspective.
He's getting like weird visions, essentially.
Visions. Yeah. He can suddenly see things in the Upside Down, like through the Demogorgon POV.
Eyes, yeah.
And so that was all very intriguing. And then he realizes that there is a Demogorgon up on the right side up that is headed toward the Wheeler house.
Yeah.
And that scene, that whole sequence might be the most terrifying thing that has probably happened in a while. In that it goes to the house, it tries to take Holly, She runs to Karen, who's been drinking, 80s wine mom. She's about to get into the tub with her Fernando playing in the background, and they hide under the tub, under the water.
So good.
Ted gets attacked.
Terrifying.
And then with her life and with a broken wine bottle, Karen freaking Wheeler protects her child to the best of her ability.
So good. Nearly dies.
Slashing on that thing, on that Demogorgon, like nobody's business.
Loved it.
All while Nancy and Elle are trying to get there. Yeah. And get there in the nick of time. Like she's
bleeding out basically.
Yeah. And they get them both to hospital and everything.
Yeah.
And
but Holly is taken.
But Holly has been taken to the other side, to the upside down. And Elle steps in.
Yeah, she steps in to go save Holly. So this is where it really kickstarts.
Yes.
The whole story sort of kickstarts.
Start of episode 2 is when we really get going.
Episode 1 is very much the setup of everything, so where everyone is and all of that.
It's not the strongest point of the season, I feel like. The strongest point of the season comes at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Episode 4, the entirety of episode 4 is the strongest, but we'll talk about that in a second.
But yeah, I think, and there's a few things that get revealed through, Holly being taken and Will's visions and all of this stuff. So we figure out that we have this plan that it's not just, because the whole question this whole time has been, why Will?
Yeah.
And the fact that the show again starts with giving us Will's POV of being taken.
Yeah.
That's clearly the question that needs to be answered. Yeah. Right? So why Will? And then we figure out that obviously we get the answer to that in season 4. But before that, we go, okay, why is Holly being taken then?
Yeah.
What is the reason behind Holly's disappearance?
Yeah.
Why is the Demogorgon attacking Holly? Now, obviously, we know from the season 4 that Vecna, when he spoke to Nancy, he showed her the vision that her mom, her dad, and her sister are going to get harmed.
Yeah.
And he says, you need to leave it alone. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And this whole time, and this is what Nancy says in the hospital to Mike, that this is one mistake that we made. We didn't tell, we have not protected mom and dad.
Yeah.
And Holly.
Yeah.
Why did we never send them out of Hawkins or even just tell them what's going on? Because they don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sending them away from Hawkins might not have worked. But at least letting them know.
Yeah. To
be on guard. To kind of see. She's really feeling guilty. And Mike's kind of trying to be no, but how could we have done this? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I have to agree. Why did they not say anything?
Yeah.
But I think we then later on also, I think, is it in the same episode that we find out that there's other kids who are being targeted?
Yeah. So it kind of happens towards the end of episode 2, start of episode 3, and continues
Which is the Turnbow Trap. Which is the
Turnbow Trap, which is a new character that's introduced this season, is Derek Turnbow. He's also in elementary school with Holly. He is the one who's bullying Holly. Yeah. But we also realize that he is also being targeted by Henry / Vecna.
And we figure this out because Will figures out that he is somehow connected to the hive mind. So he is seeing through the eyes of the Demogorgon, but also through the eyes of Vecna and his victims.
Yes.
So clearly he figures out that when Holly was spinning on the playground is when he had his first sort of vision. Yeah. Because he started spinning. And then even later when he's trying to figure it out, he's with Robin and Derek Turnbow walks past him and he gets the goosies, Steve says. So that is when he really figures out that, okay, I'm connected to the hive mind, therefore I'm connected to Vecna and through his victims. Yeah. So that is when the plan comes together to try and save Derek. Yeah. Who is a very fun little character. I love him. I absolutely love this kid.
At first I was like, oh, he's a really awful kid, isn't he? But then as things started happening, I was just like, oh, he's really endearing.
I love him. I absolutely love him. All right. Sorry. We're going to talk a little bit about, so basically right now we're just doing a quick plot thing and then we're going to talk about the main relationships.
Yeah.
So Derek, we find out he's a target. So the episode 3 is the Tombow trap, where they now have to basically save Derek.
Yeah.
And it's a very elaborate plan.
Yeah.
They decide to trap the Demogorgon, and they decide to put a tracker in him so that when he does go into the Upside Down.
But not before they kidnap Derek and his family.
Yes.
With the help of Erica, by the way. Oh my
goodness, who is
psycho. A psycho, and I love her.
She's great.
And take them away to a barn where no one can find them, apparently.
She's so good.
And then they set up their trap at the house to catch the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
And put a tracker in it.
Yeah.
And that whole bit, I was just like, this is the weirdest thing ever. Because
she was scary.
Not even like Erica, like them setting up the trap, because I was like, what if someone comes to this house,
right, and
sees everything all battered up and beaten?
Like, what
and
happened in this household?
Giant hole in the floor.
Oh my goodness!
What?
It's crazy.
Is no one gonna question this when they're left?
It's nuts. It's so good.
So weird.
It's so good. But yeah, so we basically get that, and then of course, we figure out in that episode that a lot of other kids are also being targeted.
Yeah.
By not just Vecna, because Will gets another vision where all these kids are sort of like in this, whatever. I don't know how to describe it, really.
They're in a kind of like a weird sort of sphere, fleshy sphere, which has like panels that the kids are all like attached to.
Yeah, sort of like how in season 4 we see like Fred, like where not season 4, like when we see Will and he's got that tube attached to him, right?
Sort of like
it's
that.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we see that, and Will kind of draws it, and they figure out it's not just Holly and it's not just Derek. There's going to be 12
kids, yeah.
Which makes sense because Vecna is all about the clocks, 12, for each hour, all of that sort of stuff. And then in season 4,
episode 4.
Episode 4, this whole elaborate plan to save these 4
Mike's plan.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Mike's soon.
Yeah, the elaborate plan to save these kids and, all of that.
Yeah.
So let's now, because we'll come back to episode 4, because that's the the
culmination,
and that's a big one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about relationships, and let's talk about characters in this season so far. Firstly, I think it's important to talk about the Dustin and Steve thing.
Yes.
Because there's been a lot of conversation about it.
Big misconceptions, conversations happening over this relationship.
I feel like a lot of people, and I don't want to say that people are not getting it or anything like that. I don't want to put that judgment out.
I don't want to say it negatively, but I just think people aren't thinking it through.
I feel like there's a lot of misinterpretation, or maybe it's just, I don't know what it is. Personally, I feel like I'm really like, you can't say that you enjoy this. No one can say that, right?
I enjoy it in terms of showing a different dynamic to this duo that we've
never seen before.
Since season 2.
Yeah.
Who have always kind of just been like bantery and like making fun of each other in like a very like jokey dig kind of way. And now it's just like, it's hard to watch because they're both hurt. They're both hurting. Dustin more so because he has lost Eddie.
He's grieving. He's
grieving this guy who, I'm sorry, he's known longer than a week. That's a misconception. People think that it's only the week. He knew him from the start of the school year.
Yeah.
The start of the school year, which was way before spring break. When season 4 is set during spring break. He's the one, Dustin said last year, Eddie was the one who, no one was nice to us in high school when we started. But Eddie took us in, and he liked us. Yeah. And he wanted us to be around. And so they clearly built a friendship over those few months. And they got really close. And Dustin and Eddie are so similar in that they're not afraid to like share their passions and be really super into something and like have no apologies about the people that they are. And so when Dustin loses Eddie and Eddie is telling him, dying in his arms, telling him that you have to continue Hellfire, the legacy, find the lost sheep, all this stuff, he wants to take that on.
He takes it seriously.
And he takes it seriously. And he is just so broken.
I think it's very important to also understand that yes, he has known Steve longer.
Yeah.
But the difference between their relationship is interesting because Steve, he loves and he looks up to, definitely.
Yes.
But Steve is always very different.
Yeah.
Steve was not like him. Steve has never been like him.
Look, there was an interview very recently, I think last week, with Gaten Matarazzo, and he was talking about it.
Yeah.
The differences. Obviously, without spoilers, he said all this because the episodes had not come out yet. But he was talking about how, like, Steve gave Dustin a lot of confidence in the start to just, you know, be open, talk to people, have fun, like, you know, just be yourself. Yeah. Whereas with Eddie was the first one who told Dustin he doesn't need to be anything else.
Yeah.
You be you. You are exactly who you need to be. And your confidence will come from that. Yeah. Basically. And it's not like, you know, you have to like chase after girls and all that. So Steve didn't say anything wrong by giving him that advice. It was just
he wasn't telling him to be anyone other than himself.
Something that Dustin needed at that time. And through that, their friendship built.
And like you see that, like in season 3, you know, he's like, showing him how to do his hair and stuff. But in season 2, But in season 3, Dustin's as nerdy as can be, and Steve is still hanging out and being friends with him. You know? So it doesn't really matter.
And he's clearly introduced Steve to some nerdy stuff because their whole handshake is the lightsaber thing. And
So like, there's that exchange of ideas sort of thing. But the thing is that with Eddie, he really feels that kinship because Eddie is like him. Yeah. Right? Now, with the whole thing with their banter being really negative and whatnot, coming back to Dustin, because he is grieving, he's already lost Eddie. Yeah. I feel a lot of it is like a defense mechanism of pushing Steve away.
Because Steve is also the brother. Like, Eddie was a brother figure. Steve is a brother figure. Yeah. He is probably thinking in his head, if I push him away, there's less chance to get hurt.
Yeah. I don't want to go through this again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, how is he going to know what I'm going through? Therefore, I don't want to talk about it, you know?
And also, like, a lot of people mentioning, like, why is Steve being so childish? Why is he saying... So I'm going to put myself in, like, the big brother shoes. Yeah. I am not a brother, but I am a sister. Yeah. I'm a big sister. When you are an older sibling, and not necessarily that it's happened between us, but just in general, when you are an older sibling, it sometimes happens. Like, even if I ask you something and you're like, I don't want to talk about it, whatever, and I ask you, it's annoying, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, you don't want to share it? Fine, whatever. Yeah. I won't talk to you either. Yeah. You know, like, it happens, right?
It does, yeah.
But this is like non-serious stuff. But when you're going through something serious and you can see your younger
self-destructive
sibling,
behavior.
You're self-destructive. You're clearly not okay. Yeah. And you're trying to get them to break through.
Intentionally picking fights.
With the boys. Intentionally putting yourself in harm's way.
I mean, Dustin gets beat up at Eddie's grave by
Jason's friends.
Yeah. Very badly.
Yeah. And you are consistently not listening to your friends. Not just me, but your other friends as well. Your best friends. Yeah. Fine, don't listen to me if you don't want to, but you're not even listening to your friends. Yeah. It is coming out of frustration. Yeah. Steve is frustrated.
He's very frustrated.
And you can see that in his expressions. Like, there's that bit where after he gets beaten up, they all get back to the squawk. Yeah. And... You know, it's like he meets the boys.
Even in between that, they're in the car after they've picked him up, where he's just suddenly there. Yeah, after like picking himself up after being beat up, and they're in the car, and he's like, "Who was it? It was Andy and his goons, right?" And he was just like, "I don't want to say." He's like, "This is what I'm talking about." He's like, "Oh, your concern for me is really
he's like, yes, I am concerned.
Yes, I am concerned for you. I've been nothing but concerned about you for so long, and every time I am ignored." Yeah, you know, and
then the boys feel exactly the same way because when they get to the squawk, then all of them are like, "Oh gosh, what happened?"
What happened to your
Dustin's
face?
like, "Oh yeah, I fell off the bike." Yeah, and Steve just kind of and
Lucas share a look. Yeah.
Share a look. And it's like, really? Yeah. You're going to lie about this. Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah. You know, and it's so frustrating when the person that you love is just not admitting that
what's happening.
And all we want you to do, and yes, you can't push someone. Like, they have to come to that. And I think that's where that moment's going to come. That scene hasn't come yet.
Like, it hasn't come yet. There's that very like emotional bit in the trailer that is still yet to be seen.
And I'm just hoping that there is good payoff, because if that payoff is good, then all of this is worth it. Yeah. If the payoff is not good, is when we have a problem.
I think someone said that that scene is probably in episode 6. Episode 6 is going to be directed by Sean Levy. And if there's one thing Sean Levy can do really well, it's emotions. Yeah. So I think we're going to be okay.
So let's leave that there, and I think let's hope for the best. Because
I think that was something that needs to be cleared up. This is a friendship that we've seen for so long that's currently not in a good place. And it's not that Steve is being mean or Dustin is being shitty or whatever. It's that Dustin's grieving. He can't express it. He doesn't want to because he's
internalizing
everything, and he's scared, obviously, to say it out loud, and Steve's frustrated with that.
Yeah, simple as that.
It's as simple as that. Yeah. So I also agree that I think we'll be getting that soon, hopefully, and I just hope that. I think it will. I think.
Speaking of Steve and brother figures and older brothers, I think it's very important to talk about Jonathan. Yeah. Because that is another thing that a lot of people are having issues with. I'm having a lot of issues with it. So Jonathan is...
And I'm not even the biggest Jonathan fan.
True. I
really enjoyed... so this is the thing. Like, if you guys have probably heard me say it over the last few retrospectives. Yes, I wasn't a massive, like, Jonathan fan, but I really enjoyed his arc in season 1. I think it's so poignant, beautiful, and the Byers themselves in season 1 was so, like, they are the heart of that season, right? Yeah. So season 4 was tough because Jonathan's going through something, and he's just, like, smoking pot and not really addressing the issue. And I was like, what are they doing with Jonathan? Like, why is this happening? Hopefully next year it'll be different. It is not different.
It's not different. I feel like it's worse.
He is completely on the opposite end of the spectrum from where he was in season 1. He doesn't even feel like the same Jonathan anymore. He is being... I don't even know. He's just, like, insecure.
Very insecure.
Like, rude, which Jonathan has never really been.
He's not really, yeah. He can be sassy and a bit biting, but he's never, like, rude but intentionally. But he's never rude
intentionally or said things intentionally to someone and, like, in a very, like, harsh way. Like, he's never done that. To be fair,
he's mostly doing it with Steve. It's sort of, like, coming out towards Steve. And that's where I think it's the insecurity thing. Yeah.
We've fallen into the stupid love triangle trope again, which I'm sorry... Dumb. Really doesn't even feel like a love triangle.
No, it doesn't. Because it feels like Nancy just doesn't want to be there.
Nancy doesn't want to be there. Honestly, Steve is not even, like, going after her. He's just not. Yeah. Because really, his concern is Dustin. And the only reason he is kind of lashing out or being, sassy back to anybody is because he's receiving so much negativity from Jonathan.
He's copying it from Jonathan. He's copying it from Dustin. He's had enough.
This guy has had enough. Like, can we please? And people who are like, oh, Steve is an idiot and Steve is awful and all this stuff. Can we please take it down?
I love Steve.
Like, I don't know how I've gotten into the pit of the Steve hate.
I don't know. I didn't even know people hated him that much.
Oh my God, it's bad. And I didn't know about this until like a few weeks ago. And it is scary, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
But all of that aside, we're talking about Jonathan. I don't understand what his problem is.
I feel like the writers have done him a big disservice.
It's such a big disservice.
Like, honestly, like in retrospect now, season 4... I really don't mind him anymore in season 4 because him being a pothead and stuff like that, I kind of get it. He's been through enough trauma, right? Yeah. He's kind of trying to, like, let go of everything and he's stressed out and whatnot. But, like, in light of that, season 5, like, what is he doing? Like, what is happening? Like, so, why is your focus?
Like how I'm saying.
This.
Like, yeah, like, the love triangle doesn't feel like a love triangle. Steve is really not focused on that. But for whatever reason, Jonathan is just going after him about, like, you're trying to take Nancy and you're trying to do this and try to impress her and all this stuff. And, like, and
I mean, he calls him, what does he call him?
He calls him in the van. He calls him a selfish, chauvinistic meathead.
Oh, that was mean.
Selfish and chauvinistic are two words that do not go with Steve Harrington post season 1.
Yeah, exactly. He was chauvinistic in season 1, definitely.
And this is clearly regressing Jonathan back to that time, because he has really not even been around Steve since that time.
He hasn't.
So he still thinks of him as that person. He has not seen this growth. He has not seen Steve become the person he is now.
I mean, having said that, he still has seen Steve do things that are not selfish.
Exactly. Like in season 2, there is literally the bit where he takes the kids, they trek through the woods, and they all meet up all outside of Hawkins' lab.
Exactly.
Like, does that not give you an idea that he's at least taking care of the kids?
Even in season 3, the whole thing of like, okay, Jonathan may not have spent time with Steve there when they went to the Russians and stuff, but he can see what he's been through.
Yeah. He's literally beaten up his face.
The only time you can say that he's not been there is season 4 because he wasn't there.
Yeah, he was in Lenora.
Right? So that's the only thing. So I think that whole excuse of him calling him selfish, I think is completely uncalled for.
Wrong. And like, Steve is right to call him out and say like, you're just being paranoid ever since you got back. I'm just wanting to be here for my friend. And if you spent more time on her and less time on me, you guys could finally move on, because the only one more like miserable in this relationship than you is Nance.
And can we please talk about that stupid engagement ring?
Like, oh my God. As soon as I heard Murray say, it's quite engaging about the cassette tape, I was like, oh my God, I think I know what this is. And then later on the scene is he opens the cassette tape and there's an engagement ring. If his plan is to propose to her when he has already stated, and Murray has been like, oh, you know, the relationship's stagnating. Yeah. Have you done it yet? Like, have you done it?
No.
If the relationship is stagnating, if there is a problem,
that's not the time to propose, my friend.
Proposing is it's not a Band-Aid.
Nope.
So if you think you can propose to her, lock her down, and like try to get her away from
Who's being chauvinistic now?
Attention. Who's been exactly? Exactly. Like the amount of people last year when, you know, Steve had his like thing of like confessing to Nance. Like,
he copped it.
He was like, everyone was like, oh, he's trying to like make her a wife and tie her down and like all this stuff. What do you think Jonathan's trying to do now?
Exactly. He's doing exactly the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing. In fact, he's got a ring.
I know.
Steve was just being honest about how he feels.
And Steve was talking like way into the future. Yeah. Like he envisions himself as an older, you know, his version of himself. You know? Not now.
So I really like, and he has there's no connection of Jonathan to Will or Joyce, or
he hasn't even shared a lot of scenes with them.
Like literally just the breakfast table, and that was it.
That was it.
And like before they go on the crawl, before he gets into the van with Steve. So like, I don't know what's going on with Jonathan.
Once again, there's that bit in the trailer that came out where he's hugging Will clearly. And he's like, all the kids are around him. And also like
with Nancy, they're crying about something.
And he's with, you know, all the kids are sort of hugging Jonathan, right?
Well, they're all hugging Will too, I think.
But like Jonathan's like in the center. You can see him,
you can see Jonathan the best.
So I'm hoping that's something. Something is going to happen, and we're going to get a version of Jonathan that we can get on board with.
Yeah.
I really am sad to see the trajectory, because up until season 3, and I will even now say season 4, Jonathan was fine.
Season 4 for me, somewhat, but
I understand where he was in season 4, right? Like, okay, fine, he was kind of useless, but I get it.
Yeah,
I don't get this. Right?
This really doesn't make any sense.
I really don't get it. The only thing I can say is when you come down to Mike, and I think this is a really nice where we can talk about Mike, something positive, right?
Something positive about Mike for once.
Mike this season has been fabulous.
I'm so happy. He
has been amazing.
Yeah.
Now, this is where, okay, so Mike's talking to Elle. Yeah. And, you know, feeling a little bit down. And he's talking about the fact that everyone is locked in. Everyone is depressed. Everyone
can go anywhere.
You can't go. And then can't you think about like when we were in the pandemic? It was 2020. Like everyone who's miserable.
Everyone's like, oh, it's so off, and oh, why is everyone so upset? Honestly, they should be more upset,
right?
Than they already are.
think back to all of us. We've all been through this.
We've been
this
through
is
exactly
one
the
thing,
same
and I'm
thing.
actually really happy they've included something like this because we can relate to this.
Yeah. And we had the internet.
Exactly.
They do not.
They don't have any outlet.
No.
Right? We had TikTok. People joined TikTok. Yeah. Blinding Lights, the dance challenges.
Oh my God,
and all
remember
of
that?
sort of
Jesus,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. People had an outlet, right?
Yeah.
These people have no connection. There is nothing. There's like no connection to the outside world. You can't leave. No one can come in. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for everyone to be losing their minds somehow.
Yeah.
I understand why everyone is behaving the way they are behaving. And I'm hoping that even someone like Jonathan will make sense because of that, right?
Yeah, I would hope so.
I really hope so. So coming back to Mike, him giving his pep talk to Elle, and this was a really nice little glimpse of the old Mike.
Yeah.
But then we really get to see the Mike leadership come in when him and Nancy are going through the crawl plan.
Yeah.
And Nancy's going through
it. That was when I was like, wait, hold on a second. Because up to then, like, it's just the introduction and, like, everything. And then I was like, oh, yeah, Mike's cool. Like, he's kind of standing up to the bullies, which we've never seen them do before. Let's be honest. Yeah. They've always been the bullied. And so when the crawl starts happening and Nancy's explaining it on her side in the basement of the station and Mike is there, the four of them are in the woods. He's taking out his D&D figures and he's, like, mapping it all out. I was like, wait, hold on a second. Mike Wheeler season 1 is back. What?
It's amazing.
Like, oh my God.
So it's really lovely to see him there, and we get to see Mike be what Will had said in season 4, which is the heart.
Yes.
You know, like he is really there for everyone. He is there for Elle. He is there for Will. He is there for the kids that he's helping rescue.
Yeah.
He is there for every single one there. Like we started the show with Mike being sort of like the lead, right?
Yeah, basically.
And essentially, even though that's not exactly the place that he's in, because at the moment, I would say there's no one really the lead. Everyone's kind of like on equal footing. But Mike's kind of come back to that very reasonable place. And look, to be very fair, it makes sense. When kids are in that middle school, like year 8, year 9 time, they lose their minds a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
Right? It's the hormones. It's like they're not thinking straight. They're like developing, their brains all scrambled. Yeah. Once they get into like that year 10, age 15-ish sort of, they start getting okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's kind of coming back to being who
being that person,
is, And it's so lovely to watch that.
Yeah.
It's so lovely to see that. And just being that really caring friend rather than that very...
and brother. Like, he comforts Holly when she's going through her thing and, like, telling her, you're Holly the heroic and...
giving her the little
figurine. Someone summarized it and it was like, Mike comforted Holly, figured out Mr. Whatsit. He... protected the kids.
Something with Nancy as well.
Yeah, he was like came up with 2 plans, tried to protect the children, gave Elle a pep talk, encouraged Will, coaxed Erica into the plan, the Turnbow plan, led the party, fought a Demogorgon successfully in the Turnbow house, cosplayed as a patient to go and see Karen. Dude was busy.
He was busy.
Dude was busy.
He was busy this season.
And I loved it. I just loved everything. And like, even like him and Will are sort of like in a better place now.
Much better place. Yeah.
I think he's in a better place with all his relationships.
With all his friends. Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's in a really good place.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to see that.
And to see him and Nancy working together, like on these plans, these crawls.
Because so far, because
so
he's
good.
been so much younger than Nancy, they've been pretty separate.
Yeah.
But now it's nice to see Nancy and Mike working together. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's their parents who are in the hospital. It's their sister who's gone missing. So they've really put up a united front there. Yeah. And I think it's a nice space to talk about Nancy as well a little bit. Because to be very fair, in Volume 1, I feel like Nancy doesn't have really that much to do.
Yeah. She's
which
kind of
makes
just
sense.
Exasperated because of these 2 guys.
True. And she's worried about her parents. So she's spending a lot more time at the hospital. And she's not really...
Until they go into the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, until they... do the Turnbow trap and then go into the Upside Down. she was kind of more focused on her parents.
But Mike has been such a great little change. And I think we really get to see the essence of Mike in episode 4.
Yeah.
That scene, the final scene where he's guiding the kids and he's constantly going, eyes on me, eyes on me.
That, honestly, it made me so emotional. It like really almost made me cry just to see him that way, because like, I think all of the kids, like, so Lucas is also like protecting the kids, taking them through the tunnels and everything, which was also really lovely to see kids who we wanted them to be protected and no one was there to protect them, and now they are the ones protecting them. Steve taught them well, let's be real, right? Because Steve was the only one protecting them,
exactly.
And so back to Mike with the kids, the eyes on me. I remember eyes on me, like, he still remembers being that kid in that high school, seeing Demogorgons rip those military people apart.
And how traumatic that was.
Is so traumatized still after all of everything. And he is probably scared in this moment within the maxi as well.
He's unarmed. He's got literally nothing to defend himself. Like, Lucas still has like a shovel or something.
Yeah, he's got something in his hand. I can't remember. But he's got nothing other than his body to put in front of
he's literally got nothing.
Kids.
And he does that.
And he does it. And he doesn't want them to see what he has seen.
And also, can we bring back to, this was basically like, I honestly feel like he got this from the hero secret agent man in season 4.
Unnamed hero agent man from season 4, episode 4, Dear Billy.
Right?
The oneer in the Byers Lenora house. And the oneer in this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was excellent.
It honestly felt the same.
Yeah.
Same kind of adrenaline. And it really is like how you're saying, he probably got it from that.
It really felt like that. Because he was there when that happened.
It really paralleled very well.
Very well.
Yeah. Can I just, like, obviously we'll get into episode 4 and like maybe like.
And we need to talk about Lucas as well.
We need to talk about Lucas. We need to talk about Will. But just in terms of the one, a quick shout out to the Steadicam operator.
Yes.
Nick Mueller.
Yes.
He has dance training from when he was a really little kid because his mom owns a dance studio.
Yeah.
He basically learns the choreography of the fight scene, and then he choreographs his own movements of the camera. I've never heard anything like that.
That is amazing.
I've never heard anything like that. That is the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
That's excellent.
Support production people, man.
Yes.
Like, support production people.
It's so important. I think this is, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and we can get into
we'll
more
talk
of
about
that.
production a bit later. Maybe in the second part when we do it. But little things like that made a lot of difference. Yeah. I really want to talk about Lucas as well, because in the same scene we see him taking the kids. Yeah. And, protecting the kids as well. I think Lucas this season, what's the feel that you get from him?
I think he's just very sad.
He's so sad.
He's so sad, and it just breaks my heart. And, like,
I feel like he's so
even
sad.
When he's with Max's side constantly, and he's clearly the only one, because where the hell is Max's mom? No one knows. He's just, and when he's telling her, like, if you could wake up now, like, now's the time. Like, we need everybody. The whole party needs to be together. Yeah. But apart from that, I miss you.
Oh,
it's
like, just heartbreaking.
It was just like, it just tore me apart. It was like, I just wanted to wake up. Oh my God, just hurry up.
Again, I feel like this season, like, Lucas has been more subdued. Like, even in terms of role, like, obviously he's there in a lot of it, but he's not. His main thing has been Max.
I think volume 2 he'll be a bit more.
That's what I feel like. Volume 2, I feel like he'll be a little bit more present,
because the reveal of the end of season 3 is that Max is
very much alive
in Vecna's mind palace.
Which again, I had guessed.
I think everybody had guessed.
I know that's what I'm saying. Everyone had guessed, so that wasn't a big surprise either. Yeah. But yeah, so Lucas, I feel I think we're gonna see a bit more of him in volume 2. I really hope we do.
I think we will.
So far, I'm happy with what I've seen. Yeah. Though
it's a little bit more subdued, like we're saying, but I think Caleb's just doing a great job with just Lucas's grief and, but still being there for everybody.
For everyone. Yeah, doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. And honestly, kind of the opposite of Dustin. Yeah. In that Dustin is there, but he's kind of like reluctantly there.
And I think that's an interesting little thing of like how you deal with grief, right?
Yeah.
Because Lucas still has like this hope inside of him, although I feel like now it's slowly starting to go.
And that's why when she wakes up, and she will wake up, I have Delulu hope that she will. She will. She has to. And that's why when she does wake up, he's just gonna be like, ugh, you know. So
you know, so clearly there's that difference in how they grieve, and I think Lucas still sort of understands.
There's still a body there. She's still somewhat there,
whereas Eddie isn't.
Eddie is not.
You know, Eddie's not. So yeah. It's interesting. I think Dustin and Lucas are both in a very interesting spot there in terms of like what they are going through.
Yeah,
at that young age, you know.
Can we talk about my favorite duo this season?
Oh my gosh, Will and
Robin.
Yes,
mentor gay and baby gay. Someone said it, and I was like, oh, I love that because it's so true.
Totally.
Will and Robin.
Oh, so good. Very unexpected,
but I was kind of like, as soon as it happened, I was like, wait, why has this not happened sooner? Like, I mean, we kind of, because they were separated in season 4, and he barely met her in season 3. So, no,
they haven't really
now
had
is
a
the
chance
time.
to interact.
Now is the
really.
time, and my God, it is my favorite duo this season.
It has been so fun,
so lovely to see him coming out of his shell because of her, being supported by her, being encouraged by her,
and gaining confidence.
Like, he's become so sassy.
I love Will.
I love sassy Will.
Yes.
I think I have come to this conclusion. Sassy Will is my absolute favorite.
To be very fair, Will was always sassy.
A little bit,
but he was slightly whiny, right?
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
Now he's just kind of like, we get the sass sort of in season 4. Yes. Remember when what's the bit when him and Jonathan are like, oh, mum's at something.
Yeah.
And he says something.
Oh, no, he's like, because the doorbell rings. He's like, $10, mum forgot something.
Yeah.
And, you know, $10 says mum forgot something. And then Jonathan's like, I'm not taking that bet. It was just like these little things. And then like even
this season, the sass was turned up.
Was turned up to 11.
Yeah, totally.
No pun intended. But I just loved their relationship because, you know, everybody I feel like everyone needs someone like that in their life to like uphold them and like and encourage them. But like to see it happening with, I'm gonna go and like, I mean, obviously I think we all can feel that Will is gay.
I know they haven't explicitly said anything, but
it's there. And obviously Robin is lesbian, so like to see it happening in an LGBTQ plus situation, friendship, I should say, is so important. Like how I was saying about season 3, like Robin opening up to Steve is so important. Like allyship is so important. Yeah, it's also important to have like these relationships too, and like someone who you can talk to and make you understand things that you're confused about. And
like who else is he gonna ask questions?
Will has so many questions. Who else is he gonna ask? Like exactly. You can't ask anybody.
You didn't have the internet back then to find like communities and things, you know.
Yeah, so he does ask Robin things, and she does open up to him, and like I've loved every single time they're together. I've loved it. The scene in the tunnel is so beautiful with Robin talking about like, you don't need to, like, she talks about how like she was obsessed with Tammy Thompson, like we've heard that story with Steve, and she's like,
I like how Will immediately is like, that really bad singer, or that terrible
singer girl. And then she's like, and I'm sure you know what happened next, Steve the Hair Harrington. And Will just goes, oh God. She's like, yeah, she fell for him fast and like all this stuff. And then but like, you know, she says, I was seeking answers in someone else, but I had all the answers. And then once I embraced that part of myself, it felt like I could fly. Yeah. Like, you know,
that
and
confidence.
He's just getting like teary-eyed. And, you know, up until this point, like they've gone on their little side quests together to like figure out things about himself. She makes him realize that he's kind of like this antenna for the hive mind. Yeah. And Joyce is like, why are you hanging out with this random girl? I've only just met her this season, apparently. And she's just like, I don't know how I feel about your new friend. And like all this stuff. But like, even Mike Larry's like, Robin and Mrs. Byers seem to be getting along. Like, you know, they seem to be. But like, you know, in the tunnels, them just he's teary-eyed, and then like they just have this laugh together when Lucas is like, guys, hurry up, and then like, you know, all this stuff. So when we I guess now is a good time to talk about episode 4.
Actually, before that, let's talk a little bit about Joyce.
Yeah,
Joyce and Will. And
yeah,
I think
Joyce
that
and
plays
Will are
into
very important.
Will's character a little bit more here.
Yeah,
we get Joyce. You know, she's always been protective, and she's always been, and she's even more protective now.
Yeah.
But I feel like this season, she's very much like, don't do this, don't go here, don't do this. And Will's kind of like had enough, you know. He's like, oh my gosh, like, can you stop, please?
Yeah.
Like, also, and that makes sense because look at what happened last year. She wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And they went through all of that stuff. Like, they literally drove
across country without her.
So he's fine, right?
Yeah. They had to deal with a dead body by themselves.
I reckon if that had not happened, he probably would have been okay with his mother being like, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
But now he's kind of like, oh my gosh, can you get off my back?
I've dealt with a lot while you've been away.
Stop it.
Stop.
You know, and I really like that. And I like that he kind of gives it back to her now.
Like he says, like the first time he kind of gives it back is like, when she's like, the plan is like, you know, we have to just keep you here. Like, you know, we can't do anything. And he's like, no, like, we have to help Holly. Holly's gone missing. Like, I know what it's like. I know what she's going through.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's when Robin is like, no, your plan is genius.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And then even later after that, like, he's like, I'm not a kid anymore. Like, your plan sucked, basically.
No, she's like, my plan kind of did suck. And he's like,
but like in the car when they're driving,
and
he's like, your plan didn't work. My plan did. And so we have to find these kids. We have to find them fast. And then when they're having that little heart-to-heart at
Joyce accepts
at the barn, she's like, yeah, it kind of sucked. And he's like, kind of?
Yeah.
But
I liked that Joyce accepts.
Yeah. And they both settle on like,
yeah,
I trust you, you trust me.
Yeah.
He's like, it's scary, but I know what I'm doing now. Like,
yeah, and I think for Joyce, you know, to see Will, and obviously she sees what happens in the end. Yeah. I think it's going to be a very interesting experience to see what Joyce is going to go through now. Because now she doesn't need to protect him the way she has before, right? Hop and Elle. Yeah. So they're still in the Upside Down. Yeah. And they have just met Linda Hamilton. Yeah. Look, I was excited about her being in this, but I was a bit disappointed with the character. So I don't know if she's going to come back.
I think she is in volume 2 because there's scenes in like the trailer that we haven't seen yet. So I think she is in volume 2.
So I hope so.
I want a little bit more oomph, you know? Like,
I just was like, this. Anyone could have done this.
It's very caricature and like.
Anyone could have been this. This was not a Linda Hamilton specific
very caricature,
thing, you know?
It was, yeah.
Anyway, so anyway. They're in the Upside Down and they finally get into the facility. They manage to get in. We find that, you know, the military have got like these weird sense. I don't know how you would mention like a vibration,
alarm, like a vibration alarm sort of thing. Yeah.
Which kind of incapacitates Elle.
Yeah.
And she's going through a lot of pain and stuff. And I love how Hopper deals with the guys and they capture one of them and interrogate him and they figure out that there's a base. And they get to the base, and we see like some more creatures and stuff. But there's a hidden door, and they keep calling it that this is Elle's kryptonite. And so we're all at this point thinking that it's going to be Vecna
behind the door,
and that's what they are thinking as well. Yeah, that it's Vecna, it's Vecna, it's Vecna, and then we see finally what Hop takes out from his little secret compartment. Yeah, it's basically a bomb strapped to his chest. Because his whole idea is that when he sees Vecna, he's going to blow them all up. Every single time that he's gone away.
Hop!
Every single time that he has gone into the Upside Down for a crawl, he has gone in knowing that if he was to see Vecna, he is going to be dead. Yeah. Along with himself. Yeah. So he's never going to see these people again. Yeah. Which...
It's really hard to think about him doing that. And I just... like when Joyce finds out,
she's gonna kill him.
She's gonna be like, what the hell?
She is gonna kill him.
Break up. No, I'm joking. Oh my god forbid. No, please.
She's not gonna be happy.
Knock on wood.
Right? So I think that mental state that Hop is in is a very interesting place there. He's desperate at this point, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think
wants everything to be over.
And he's thinking about his daughter. He's thinking about Sarah a lot. Like, we're getting these flashes of him thinking.
Like, he would rather not be here than have to lose Elle, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and he's already lost one daughter. And he cannot lose another one. No. And if that means that he sacrifices himself, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And you get the sense that if him, you know, because he talked that when he was talking to Dimitri in season 4 about, you know, when he talks to him about his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, him watching his child in pain was too much for him.
Yeah.
And now seeing Elle go through this is too much for him either. And he just can't do it. And so we find out, though, that it's not actually Vecna, that it is number 8.
Number 8 from the useless episode, The Lost Sister.
Well, now it's not a useless episode.
I still think it's useless. That episode is boring. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember that episode.
It's so boring.
I do not remember it.
I remember it very clearly.
I mean, I need to, and I'll watch it, obviously.
And I don't like the fact that people are like, oh my God, I knew it the whole time. I love that episode, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, but when that episode aired,
everyone hated it.
Everyone hated it. Across the board, everyone hated that episode. And now everybody is backtracking because they all think they're right about their theory. And this one person was like, everyone who was like, oh my God, that episode is crap. How do you feel now? And I'm just like, you know what? Shut up. Because it makes me so angry because, like, at the time,
everyone hated it.
Everyone said, narratively, this makes no sense. In the inclusion of season 2,
right,
of Elle going off on this side quest and finding this lost sister of hers who also has thers abilities. Hers is more like mind based, where she can control stuff. And so, like, it was just like a shock that she's here.
Yeah.
So I really have to wonder why. And what is her involvement going to be?
My biggest fear,
because what is now her connection to this whole Vecna thing?
My biggest fear is that she's going to
sideline
Elle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want that.
This is not, I'm sorry, but if it's like this thing of like, they're talking about Vecna and she's like, who's that? Or like talking about Henry and she's like, who's that? Then she's not important. Like,
then why is she there?
Like, I just, like, if she sidelines Elle, who has dealt with this person before, this entity, like, that's not what we want.
I honestly don't know what is going to happen there.
I actually have no idea. Like, I can't even predict. Like, some people are like, it's going to be L8 and Will fighting him together.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but she has no involvement with anybody else from Hawkins. Why? She doesn't know anyone.
Yeah.
How is this going to be important to her?
I would still be okay if at the end, like, of the show, she and Elle go off, you know, or do whatever. I don't know.
I wouldn't be okay with that because this whole time,
yeah.
Elle has been seeking a family, and she finally has
found
one.
It. Yeah.
And to take her away from that would just be...
It makes no sense.
Would just backtrack and undo everything that... we've been all hoping for.
Yeah.
So I don't know
what they're hoping to achieve. Like, I honestly hope that whatever it is good.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, brown representation, so that is
a big
in
that
deal.
way I'm like, okay, great.
You know, we've got a brown actress playing a role in at the moment the biggest show
in the world. Yeah.
In the world. So I really want this to be a good thing, and I want this to turn out. You know, you can turn something really useless into something good if it works out well.
For the Duffers, it is a loose thread that they want to tie up. I get that.
And I hope they do it.
But pay it off really well. Like, it has to make sense.
It has to make sense. I agree.
If it doesn't make sense and it just adds more questions, I'm going to be really annoyed about that.
Agreed.
Because you should be wrapping up questions by now.
Exactly.
You know? So anyway.
No, we've got Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, and Dustin.
In the Upside Down.
In the Upside Down as well. And they're sort of trapped at this point. Yeah. They don't...
So up until this point, we've learned that there's this giant wall.
Yes, like a flesh wall.
Goose spluttering.
And Dustin's figured out that it's circular.
Yeah.
And most likely the Hawkins lab is at the center
of it. Yeah.
Which means that's where Vecna probably is.
Yeah.
And this fleshy wall is probably what's keeping him there because they can't find Vecna.
Yeah.
So clearly he's sequestered himself in there.
Yes.
But before we do that, actually, let's quickly talk about Max. Because Holly, in the meantime, is in Henry's memories, and she's at the Creel house.
Yeah.
And she is very much, enjoying herself, baking cakes and dancing
bopping along to Tiffany's. I think we're alone now.
And we get Henry sort of says to her, stay here.
Yeah,
the rest of the kids are going to come. I'm going to keep you all safe from the monsters. And she gets a note in the mail saying, hey, it's from Henry.
He tells her not to go into the woods.
Yeah, tells her not to go into the woods, but then she gets a note. And so she follows the note because, she's curious. She's a wheeler. And we meet Max. So Max is very much there. And Max sort of reveals to her that she is stuck in Vecna's mind. She's stuck in Henry's mind.
His memories, her own within his mind.
Yeah, and this is where we get the tie-in from the play.
Yeah.
We get that little tie-in from the play. So obviously, I think the payoff of that will be more in volume 2.
Yeah.
But we get that introduction. So Vecna is clearly scared to go into the caves where Max is hiding.
Yeah.
And we find out, like, in the play, that this is where he came into contact with the Mind Flayer.
His first contact with the Mind Flayer, because the Mind Flayer sent him into Dimension X.
Yeah.
He was lost for about 10 hours.
Yeah. And he has no memory of it.
And he had no memory of that. But he came back with abilities.
Yeah.
And he didn't know why at that point.
Yeah.
So
now the thing that I found really interesting is because when Max is sort of going through the memories, she gets to the high school memory.
Yeah.
And there's a flyer advertising a play for Oklahoma. And in the play, we have Karen, Ted Wheeler's in it. We have Jim Hopper is in it. We've got Henry Creel is in it.
Alan Munson.
Eddie's
is dad is in it.
Yep. And we also have Joyce.
So at least we know where Eddie got his flair for theatrics.
Exactly. So,
Joyce is directing
Joyce is in it as well. So clearly these people know Henry Creel.
And Patty Newby, who was Bob's
sister,
adoptive sister. Yeah.
So clearly these people know Henry Creel.
Who has a bit of a love interest with Henry in the play.
Yeah. So they have been with Henry Creel. They know who he is. Now, I was initially a bit confused and I was like, well, why have they not said anything? But having said that, in season 4, when the whole Henry Creel reveal happens, Joyce and Hopper were not there.
Yeah.
And every time they've referred to
Henry in this season so far, they've only said Henry.
They've never said Vecna. Yeah. They've never mentioned the word Creel. Or if they have, I don't think Joyce and Hopper have been around.
Yeah.
Right? Hopper definitely not because he's been in the Upside Down. I don't think Joyce has been around.
No, and I'm pretty sure they haven't said Creel.
I don't think they have. I don't remember them saying it. So I feel like in volume 2, the name's gonna come out.
I would hope so. Yeah,
and they're going to recognize the name and go Henry Creel.
As Lucas said, there are no coincidences anymore.
Exactly. So I really hope that there's that payoff where they all go, hang on a minute, I know this person.
Yeah.
So there you've got Karen and Ted.
Yeah.
Joyce and Hopper.
Yeah.
Who all 4 adults.
Yeah.
Now go, hang on a minute, we know who this kid is. We know who this person is who's doing all of this to us.
Yeah.
I hope somehow that comes into play.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah.
But at least
just a recognition like, oh crap, this is Henry that we know from high school.
And also maybe that leads to some kind of like solution. Now someone was saying, do you think Vecna or Henry is going to have some kind of redemption?
He shouldn't, I think.
I don't think he can at this point.
He's taking children.
I don't think he can at this point. I honestly feel like he's like coded pedophile or whatever.
He's taking kids.
Right?
He wants these children for some weird, which we'll get more information on probably.
Yeah.
But like weird, like, take over the world situation because he sees them as weak and he can break them.
Well, someone was saying, because we get that explanation of wormholes, right? Yeah. And that the way that they're all shaped is kind of like a wormhole.
And we saw the wormhole in the legend, Mr. Clark's.
Exactly. And someone very helpfully made a diagram.
Yeah.
So we've got the normal world.
Yeah. The right side up.
We've got the right side up. We've got the wormhole, which is the upside down.
Yeah.
And we've got Dimension X. So the upside down is the wormhole, which is the bridge between the right side up and Dimension X.
And episode 7 is called The Bridge.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to do with that. The whole thing where it's like we see in the trailer this wave of like electricity going
and
across.
Clouds and
yeah. Is most likely these kids all amplifying some kind of signal that allows Vecna to really connect with everything.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that'll be really something interesting to watch out for. I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm really excited. I'm very nervous. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I think it's time to talk about Will.
Yes, let's finally talk about Will. So basically episode 4 is the plan that Mike comes up with is the kids are being rounded up, taken to the military access. And he was like, let's send Derek in as our undercover and he will try to like mingle with the kids who have also been contacted by Mr. What's-It, Henry.
The military is keeping these kids for safekeeping. Quote unquote.
Yeah, which, let's be real, they're not.
They're bait, essentially.
They're bait. And that whole plan is the funniest because they're digging a hole into
the toilet.
The latrine. As Derek called it.
Dipshit Derek. Delightful Derek.
Yeah. And basically they're going to take the kids down through the tunnels and everything. That all goes awry because Ashley Klein is a snitch and catches them going down. And like there's like the pipes have burst.
Yep.
Mike and Will have both gotten wet, so we finally got our answer to why they're wet from the trailer.
Why they're soaking wet?
Why are they wet? Everybody asked.
Like, there's no rain around. Like, why are just the two of them wet?
Yeah,
the rest of them look fine.
No one else is. Anyway, so it all goes awry. The kids that have been in the tunnel, some get out. Lucas is taking them through. The ones that have already gotten through with Robin are in the truck with Murray. They're driving away. They're being chased by Demogorgons. There's Demogorgons down in the tunnels with Lucas, and Demogorgons have come up to the surface and are attacking everyone in the military in the maxi. And all of this is happening. The amazing Wanna happens, and then
we see Vecna.
Vecna finally makes his appearance.
Oh my god, he's terrifying. I cannot look at his face.
I was just like, nah. Like, yeah, nah.
He's on a very interesting slimming program right now.
Jamie Campbell said he's on Zumba.
He's on Zumba. He's got a waist.
He's got a 14-inch waist. His deformed human body is gone. And now he's basically like part fleshy, part exoskeleton. He's like exoskeleton.
Like, it's weird.
He's
like
his left hand that could only do the like wrap around now can like completely extend, turn into a weapon.
So gross.
Goes through a guy's head at one point.
I mean, it's very cool, but very gross.
And like these vines coming up and like becoming part of him. He is menacing.
If you thought Vecna was ugly before, he's ugly. Man, he is
ugly now.
Way ugly now.
And there's the fight, everything goes down, and he basically captures Will and tells him that
he kind of gives him the answer as to why I picked you because children are weak, they're easy to break, and you were so breakable. And Will was his experiment.
Yeah.
Will was the first one.
You were the first one, and if I could do it with you, I can now do it with these kids.
So again, we get that whole thing of like, was Will a one-off? Like, as in, like, is there a specific purpose for Will? I don't think so. I think he just happened to be
at the wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time, and just picked him. It could have been any kid.
Yeah.
It could have been any kid. I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could have been any kid.
I wonder if we will get more answers, like a specific answer in volume 2. I don't know that there is, but so far I think it's just that.
I think it just happened to be
weak.
there.
He saw him as breakable, and
he was weak. He was physically weak. He was mentally
Will was a
not
sensitive
that
kid. As, we see, like, when he went missing, Joyce explained to Hopper, like, he's a sensitive kid, like, he's this and he's that. So
people make fun of him.
People make fun of him and like all this stuff, and so maybe that's just the reason. And like, him, and then Vecna kind of just like drops Will and walks through and leaves.
Yeah. And
all these Demogorgons are there and they're trying to fight them, and
almost gets Mike,
almost gets Lucas
Robin,
in the tunnels, and almost gets Robin outside. And there's the beautiful moment of Will closing his eyes and hearing Robin's words back to him from just before, when she's like, I had the answers within myself. I didn't need to seek them from anybody else.
Yeah.
And he goes through the memories of meeting Mike for the first time in kindergarten, drawing the rocket ship that Joyce was like, that was your spaceship. And then, building Castle Byers with Jonathan, like everything that got him out of the possession in season 2. Well, they tried to use the memories to get him out of the possession in season 2. And, to see them happening there in like a little film reel, because Robin had said, I saw myself as 8 years old on a little film reel, and I saw that little me who was so happy within herself. And I realized I had everything within me. And then for Will to finally like accept himself for who he is, that he is loved, he is accepted.
He's loved by Mike and his friends. He's loved by his brother. He's loved by his mother.
He's loved by everyone.
Everyone around him
life.
Loves him. Yeah.
He's accepted by everybody who's in his life. And he doesn't... So should he be in love with Mike or not? Depending on how you feel about that. He doesn't need to seek those answers in Mike. He has it within himself.
Yeah.
And like Mike even encourages him before, like, you're like a sorcerer. Like, you're kind of like Vecna.
The thing is, even at this point, even if Mike doesn't reciprocate a romantic love for him, he knows that he will always love him as a friend.
Yeah. And like he encourages him, like, you're kind of like Vecna. You can, control the hive mind. And boy,
he can.
Do we see him control the hive mind?
He has the Vecna eyes.
All of them are like, all the Demogorgons are jumping at all the friends, and then they just suddenly stop. And Will with one hand controls one, and then another hand, and then he tilts his head back.
So good.
And his eyes have rolled back. And that image
of Will being powerful.
Will being powerful with this like fire around him.
Amazing.
There's dead bodies everywhere.
Amazing.
And he just pulls his arms in, and like suddenly the Demogorgons are dying like the way Fred and Christy and Patrick died. Like the arms and the head and everything popping. And they just fall to the floor, and he's down on his knees. And Mike's face.
I know, Mike and Joyce. Joyce is in
complete shock, but Mike is just like in wonder, like
what?
You control.
Lucas doesn't even know what's happened.
So Lucas
he's
and Robin
in the tunnel.
No, because he's just looking up at this Demogorgon dying
and
in front of him.
And it just dies.
Like, what's happening? No one in the Upside Down knows. Obviously,
it's just Mike and Joyce.
It's just Mike and Joyce in that moment. And then
I feel like Jonathan should have been there.
But anyway, I digress. And like his eyes return to normal, and he gets the blood nose. Wipes it away.
I think.
Oh my god, that moment! Like,
I loved it.
We literally were like, "What is happening right now?"
Loved it. And I have been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
And not just me, like a lot of other people have been saying this for a while, that Will is going to get might get some kind of powers because I was always like, he has some kind of connection.
And when I said I didn't believe not about that. My thing was, and I think it might have been, I was listening to someone say it, and I don't think they corrected themselves. They were sort of saying that Will's going to have powers like Elle. And their phrasing didn't really make sense to me. And I was like, but how can he have powers like Elle? Because he's not like Elle.
He wasn't psychic,
He wasn't in the program.
Yeah.
But this, I believe, like him being connected to the hive mind, being connected to Vecna, being able to see through his eyes.
Yeah.
and the Demogorgon size and everything.
I mean, he had like those particle things in his body, so
exactly.
clearly he's got something.
He is able to control that, and so when he's in the vicinity of that, he can control everything. Yeah. Hence why when he was in California, he didn't feel anything. Yeah. But as soon as he gets back to Hawkins, he starts getting the goosies. Yeah. So that I believe. Yeah. This I believe, and this makes sense. So,
I am really excited about this.
So excited, but I'm also worried. Because what if this means he's going to have to sacrifice himself?
I hope not.
Or is it going to be like Will is Harry Potter and there's a fake death and, you know, Will Byers, the boy who lived, come to die sort of situation.
I don't know.
Voldemort. Yeah. Henry is basically Voldemort.
Look, I've always said that this started with Will. It needs to end with him. Right? Yeah. Now, I feel like the best way to do this is now that we know that he has these powers. Yeah. And that he can tap into Vecna's mind. Yeah. I think it's a whole other ball game. Yeah. Because even Elle can't do that.
No.
Right? So I reckon...
Like, she can do it remotely through the tub.
But she couldn't like piggyback into Vecna's mind. She tried, but she couldn't do that. Yeah. But now with Will, they don't really need to do that. Right? Yeah. But what they can do is Will and Elle together. Yeah. And now we've got 8, so I don't know how that's going to work out. That's going
to incorporate, yeah.
I'm sure it'll have something. Yeah. And I hope whatever it is, it's good. But I feel like they have enough at this point that they could possibly do something big. Yeah. I just want to make sure that no one dies.
Well, we're safe so far. No one has died in Volume 1. Including Ted Wheeler. True. Who everybody was like, oh yeah, he's Bones. No, I honestly thought he's just an induced coma.
I thought he would die, but he didn't.
But he didn't.
Karen's not dead. I don't think she will die.
I don't think Karen will die. If anything, maybe Ted will die.
Ted might die. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
I feel like either way, like it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah. But my God, seeing Will come into his power, coming into his own, like I just was just like,
like I know like a lot of people have had an issue with it because of, you know, like the whole Noah Schnapp stuff thing, and all that,
and it's understandable. We're not denying that.
I get it. I don't blame people for having an issue with that. I would generally have an issue with that.
This is about Will.
This is about Will. Like, it's different if he was in a new show. Yeah. And like this was a brand new show. I'm not ever going to watch any of his other stuff now.
Yeah, I'm not following him into anything.
We didn't know about this stuff beforehand, right? Now, we like Will. It's not about Noah Schnapp.
It's not about Noah Schnapp.
Like, and the same goes for Hopper and David Harbour.
I can compliment his acting because he's a great actor.
He was very good in this.
And I think he was amazing in this. But that doesn't mean I like him. I don't.
No, I don't. And I don't think I will watch anything that he's in again. Yeah. Like, I don't support his ideologies. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't follow him, and I never will. And anything that he's in the future, I will not be interested in. But he is Will right now. So I am not going to take away my enjoyment from Will. Of Will. Yeah. You know, as the Will character. And I can say, you know what, he did a good job. Yeah. So far, so good. But yeah, I'm really excited about what next volume's going to look like. Yeah. I'm very scared though.
Yeah, there's a lot of predictions out there. There's a lot of people speculating. And honestly, I don't know that I want to listen to any of it because I just want to enjoy it for what it is. And I feel like if I get like all these ideas in my head of like speculation and stuff, and if it doesn't turn out to be like that and it's something else and I'm like, but it's something disappointing, I'll be like, oh, that's kind of crap. Or,
to be very fair, a lot of the theories out there I've already thought in my head. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. So it's not that. It's like, I don't want to think about too much because, as you said, like if you're disappointed.
It takes away the enjoyment, I feel.
Exactly. I just want to enjoy it for what it is.
Why do you want to predict everything?
My biggest takeaway is look, I might be stupid for saying this, but I want to trust them. Maybe I shouldn't, but I want to.
I don't know. I don't trust anyone after Supernatural, but
true. Yeah. Supernatural sort of killed that trust a bit. Yeah. But having said that, like I know there's like this real passion for this, right? Who I am kind of scared for in terms of ending is Elle's ending.
Yeah.
To be very fair.
Because of every interview that I've seen, Millie Bobby Brown seems not super convinced that she's happy about her ending.
I feel like they've done a Dean Winchester and kind of like gaslit
her, like the gaslit Jensen.
Yeah.
I kind of feel it might be the
I
same
don't know.
thing.
So
I'm going into that with a grain of salt.
Very much so.
And worried about everybody else in terms of...
I know for a fact that they've like taken a lot of care in like, they've discussed, killing off characters. They've discussed looking at like the best and the worst finales and the impact that's had. So I'm hoping that they are learning from the mistakes of others.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that they make their own mistake.
Yeah.
Thinking that they're doing the right thing.
doing the right thing and then,
I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know what will happen in volume 2. There's a lot of, like I said, speculation, but
I'm not making any predictions. I'm not going to get into anything. Privately, I'm thinking some thoughts, but I'm just not going to say anything.
But I'm just not going to say anything because it might turn out or it might not turn out. So I'm just going into it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun watching it. And I think everybody should. So
exactly. Well, next week, so this episode we're gonna after this
episode, before we finish, can we do one thing? We need to shout out Miss Harris, the elementary teacher.
I wanted to mention that.
Her name is Hope Hines Love. I hope that's right. She is Matt and Ross Duffer's ex high school drama teacher.
That is amazing. I love that.
And Ross did a shout out to her on his Instagram. It's on his Instagram. Everybody can go find it.
I love that.
It was so lovely. And he was like, she really helped us through high school. I
love that.
Achieve our dreams to go to LA. And shout out to all the teachers.
Amazing.
And, let's keep arts in schools. And so
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
It was so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, that's so cute.
It's so sweet.
So sweet.
So sweet. So let's see what happens, next volume 2.
Yeah.
What date does volume 2 come out?
Well, for US, it's December 25th, which is Christmas.
So it'll be
and it'll be the 26th for us, which is Boxing Day. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll obviously
we might actually get to watch this one on time.
Yeah, true.
Because we won't have anything to do.
True.
So, yeah.
So we'll obviously do an episode for that. Our next episode will be on Wicked because
we
did watch. We did watch that. So we'll be Wicked for good after this one. And in the meantime, follow us on all our socials. Tell us what you think. Leave a comment or answer the poll question that I put up on this episode. But yeah, we'd love to know what you think of Volume 1. Who's your favorite? Mm-hmm. What did you like? What did you not like? All of that stuff. We'd love to know it.
Yeah.
And follow us on Insta, TikTok. Give us a follow here on your podcast listening, whatever you're listening to us on. And give us a rating if you can as well. And in the meantime,
talk to you next time.
Bye.